So I have three portfolio examples, which in the past, when I've shown them, they're quite useful to for people to see. I'm not saying this is that you have to follow any one of these. I just want to show you the sorts of things that are quite nice for us to see in a portfolio. And don't panic if one of them looks like something you would never do. That's not important. The important thing is the things that we feel excited about when we see them. So this is one lady who is now on the level 4. She's with us in the illustration course. This is the portfolio that she sent. So if you can just scroll through, I'll just say next, next, next. There's tons and tons of pages, and I'm not going to talk about every single one in detail, but just broadly. So if I could have the next page, please. So what she's done here is she's given us some initial ideas. This is like a brainstorm, what she's thinking about. So this is about horror. This is about fear. It's about phobias. So she's given us all different possible kind of areas that she's exploring. Next page, please. And she's got us some mood boards here. So she's showing us what's out there already. She's showing that she's aware of horror films. Junjito, who's a Japanese kind of crazy, psychologically weird, exploratory manga artist. Francis Bacon, another. So she's given us a very big range of artists, illustrators, filmmakers, different areas of art practice that relate to phobia, to fear, horror. Next page. So she's thinking about color here. She's thinking about, a particular film, The Shining, that is about fear. So she's evaluated as something that she's looked at. It's really good for us to see how you understand the imagery that you're inspired by. Next, please. Again, some different contextual research. So she's sort of, this, I would say, is text heavy. I don't need this amount of text, and sometimes I'm a little bit overwhelmed by it. But when I look into what she's writing, she's really thinking about what she's seeing. She's really trying to analyze what works about other people's work. Next page, please. And here's some experimentation. She's just exploring drawing, just seeing in a very abstract way how marks can invoke terror, perhaps, how shapes can do the same thing, colors also. So she's just playing, exploring, experimenting. Next page, please. Again, thinking about chaos theory, automatic chaos theory. So she's taken a theory of mayhem and chaos and just kind of explored that in her own way, making a drawing. Next page, please. And this leads on to this one, the idea of creating unsettling images by automatic drawing. So you're just drawing something randomly, squiggly, all over the place, texture that's random. So she's just extending that experiment that she's done and trying to analyze, what makes it slightly disconcerting. Is it the motion? Is it the randomness? Is it the quality of line? Is it the texture? Next page, please. And she's looking in the digital, looking at glitch, looking at the idea of images broken, and how they can create a sense of the being unsettled. Next page, please. And she's doing some screen printing. She's gone into the print room, and then she's taken that into digital to try and manipulate it, to try and make it super scary, as opposed to just a little bit surreal. Actually, it was quite scary in the first instance. Next page, please. Again, this is her process. So she's telling us that she knows how to do this silk screen printing. Next, please. And there's some other examples here. This is sort of thinking about error, thinking about the mistakes that happen in the process. So she hasn't gone, screw that up in the bin, throw it in the bin. I'm just like, okay, let's look at all the mistakes that I made while I was screen printing. and kind of allow them to invoke terror and horror and fear. Yeah, so she's using even the things that go wrong. Next, please. Just the same imagery, but exploring color. Again, you know, her ideas about red, The Shining, you know, some obvious connections with horror genre and fear with red, but yeah, interesting anyway. And here she's looking at a color palette more generally and discussing that in relation to different films or different video games. Next, please. A little bit more contextual research. So she's bringing it back to theoreticians. She's bringing it back to what other people say, and around the body and the sort of body parts and abnormalities and things like that. Next. And here she's doing some of her own kind of, so all that research, she's kind of bringing that together and thinking about game over screens. This is for her project. Next. Yep, and here she does some. So all that research, all that experimentation is brought together into the final pieces here. Next, please. Yeah, some others as well. And this bizarre one, and this bizarre one. This is an animation. So I think I don't have it animating here, but just to show that she got it, extended that into an animated piece as well. Next one. And this was another extension of the brief. So she's kind of written her brief for herself around the concept design for characters for the horror genre idea. Okay, next one. And just flip through these. Again, the mood board to inspire herself. Next, please. And some of her own designs. Yeah,